Never gonna give you up. You've just been rickrolled.
Sing the whole song. Sing it. Do it. Do the dance.
Nah, I ain't doing
the whole
it.
thing.
I ain't. Nah, I think I'm good
I'm
on that. But
to love.
hey,
Do
there
it.
we go. No, you do it.
No, you do it.
You see, this has been my entire life. So everybody who's been listening from the start, you guys know that we've known each other forever.
Mm-hmm.
And Alec, my mom,
Your mom
God bless
loved me.
her heart,
I was her favorite person.
she loved Alec, and she said, like, at one point he was a bad influence. I don't know.
No.
Although he would say to do things. See, I'm my own person, right? I can make my own decisions. When he would tell me to do things, I just wanted to do them. I thought they sounded cool and fun. My mom thought they sounded dumb and idiotic. What? You know, what do parents know anyways?
You only get one life, yo. And I make it fun, right? So that's just what it is. Make you do
That's just
dumb
what
stuff.
it is.
Well, if you are
There we
just
go.
joining, and you just heard DJ's beautiful Rickroll voice, that's how this episode is going to go. It's going to end right now. It's going to be the whole song. I wonder if people got
Can you
copyright
imagine?
because of that. You know how like every channel had it. I wonder if that was a copyright thing, or it was just because it was a meme, it didn't get copywritten. I wonder if you only show like a certain part of the song if you don't get trouble. Anyways, as we're talking about getting, memed and anger because of something that pops up in our daily lives that we weren't ready for. As parents, there's a thing nowadays going on with technology overload with our children. I have experienced this very recently, and I feel like it's a good topic to talk about because we are going to be introducing something into the podcast. If you guys watched last week's episode, you heard our little ad that was in the middle of it. We are working with Bark. And what Bark is a way to see. When I heard another parent, she was like, well, this is spying on your children. It's not spying on your children. It's a way to monitor. And it's not like you're on your thing watching like every little thing your kids are doing. Like my daughter, Bark, was kind enough to send me DJ devices, and my daughter was texting her grandma. My daughter is 8 years old, y'all. And so she doesn't fully know how to type out every word yet. So she does talk to text. And my mom calls me. She goes, hey, can you check Mia's text? She sent a text, and I know she doesn't know what it means, but can you just look what she sent? But before I was able to check my daughter's phone, my phone alerted me that my daughter was using profanity. And I was like, what is happening right now? And it was kind of funny. It did say there was a word she used. And then right after that, she sent a text. Sorry, Papa Nene, my phone fell on my face. So it's stuff like that. It's not, Bark is not for spying on your children. It's to monitor things. It tells you if your child is being cyberbullied. It tells you if they're looking at pornography. It tells you if they're looking at profanity. It just gives you alerts to, hey, your child is, based on what they're looking up, your child seems depressed. So cool stuff like that. But I mean, just in today's age, me and DJ were kind of at the beginning of it, where smartphones and computers, they came out when we were really in high school. Like I had a smartphone all through middle school, or a flip phone all through middle school. And then in high school, I still had a flip phone. It's a Sidekick, bro. Everybody wanted that Razor. So like we felt a little bit of it. Like we could text and talk, and man, did I make my parents mad by running up that cell phone bill, texting my wife, my girlfriend at the time. But I blew up my parents' cell phone bill. Still hear about it to this day, but it was worth it. But it's a new thing nowadays, guys. And technology overload, technology addiction is real in kids. So my son, we'll segue into a little story. My son, he comes home from school, he does his homework, reads, he does all the stuff he needs to do, but then he'll get on, Fortnite, Minecraft with his friends. And I'll tell you what, kids nowadays, man, they're rude. So my son is very on top of things, and he's good at calling out his friends when they're talking like they shouldn't. But man, if he gets in trouble and we take things away, homie freaks out. And so you can see, like, it is a drug. Like, it's that technology overload and technology addiction is a real thing in today's society. Have you noticed anything like that with the littles, D? I know, you're still at that age where they don't have handheld really devices. You guys have tablets, but you guys are pretty good at
Yeah, it's
monitoring it.
yeah, it the biggest thing that we often run into, because they like to watch TV, they like to watch their shows, and
Mhm.
every once in a while we'll let them. But there are days where we just want to have, like, be free of technology. Maybe we're doing a movie night and we want to be free of technology until the evening time,
Mhm.
where we can have dinner as a family and watch the we started watching Harry Potter with our kids. So, we'll watch the next Harry Potter, or so on and so forth. But for my oldest, he, like, it's sort of the same thing, where if he has in his mind that we're going to do something, and I'll say this, if anybody who has ADHD, if you've ever set plans, like, you have it in your head that these are the way things are going to go, and you completely go off of that, how many of you, if you can leave in the comments, like, seriously tell us, how many of you have felt super dysregulated, everything's thrown off when it doesn't go according to how you saw it in your head?
Mhm.
And I think that that's sometimes because we haven't gotten him officially diagnosed, but we think that he has ADHD. There are scientific backing, um, stuff that says that it is hereditary. And so, because I have ADHD, it's very likely that our kids will have ADHD. So we think he has ADHD. And I think when he gets in his mind that he's going to go watch something right away in the morning, because sometimes that's the routine, and
Mhm.
we don't do it, it completely throws him off. So I think it's a little bit of the tech withdrawal and the ADHD. And I think it all plays a part, anyways. It might be heightened with people with ADHD because of that dopamine hit. But let's be real. How many of you, and you can leave this in the comments too. I know I keep pointing down at the comments here. We want you guys to interact with us. But how many of you've had a long day? So what do? You get home, you open social media to get that dopamine release, just that feel good, just that scroll, the thumb, yeah, the thumb, you know. Uh,
Making people
and
feel awkward right
it's
on their car. Oh, the
uh,
thumb.
the thumb, ASMR. Do you hear my thumb go across
Does
the
it make a
mic?
noise when you swipe?
Anyways, swipe, swipe or no swipey, swipe
Oh
or no
gosh.
swipey. Anyways,
All right, Dora.
Dora, ADHD back on track, but we've all been there
Mhm.
where technology gives us that dopamine release, and so I think for kids who aren't regulated yet and don't know how to do that, and they find an outlet in technology, it's harder to pull them away from it, because it's easier to become addicted to something, when you haven't developed the skills to regulate yourself.
Well, I think, with that, like you're saying, they're little. So nowadays when people, and listen, anybody listening, I am guilty of doing this. Trust me. My kids have had tablets, they play on our phones, they have switches, they have a TV. Like, I am guilty of doing this. So I'm not out there trying to say you're a bad parent for doing any of this. But I do
Shame
feel
on you.
like, huh?
Just kidding. I
Oh,
said shame on you. Nah, just kidding, guys.
same shame. Um, but it, like DJ was saying, is that dopamine hit. And the issue is that it does have that big effect on our kids, to where it is, while they're developing, if they're at that age when they're young, they're developing, and their brain is going to not advance and not, come to what it needs to be, because all they're going to be thinking about is that screen time, or all they're going to be thinking about is that. And that's what they're going to run to and they're going to want. And every time they freak out, when you give them that tablet, that's what they're going to come to expect. And it's not going to be, when they freak out, they're not going to be like, oh, how do I handle this? How do I calm myself down? It's going to be like, well, I need my tablet right now. I'm freaking out. It's kind of like we talked about, is an addiction. It's kind of like when a drug addict is like freaking out and they're like, oh, I got to get that next hit, you know? So it's stuff like that. So it's the same thing, like alcoholism, drugs, technology. It's just because it's not something we shoot up into our body, you are putting it in your body by looking at it. And our kids don't know, their brain doesn't know the difference between that and the real world sometimes, because that's all they see a lot of the times.
Yep. And, one thing that I will point out, and I already kind of alluded to, like, how are you using your technology? And don't get me wrong, because technology is readily accessible, we often use it for work. I know for Alec, he is constantly editing things for our podcast, for his channel, which he's starting to rake in some money. He's starting to make some good money on that thing. Anyways, shout out to that. He also does things for the church. And so I know for me, I check my emails for work. I sometimes respond to emails for work, but our kids are going to model how we use technology.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're going to use it for work, that's not a problem. But maybe step away to an office, or, make it well, dad's in his office. That means he's working.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see him on his phone, it's work related. Because I think what we do is we bleed into the common areas. And so our kids don't know, because look, it's the same way when you attend a church or you attend something for, let's say you're in college and you're taking notes on your phone. What's the professor going to think? Probably that you're texting somebody or that you're looking at something and you're not paying attention to them. But in reality, just because their perception is that, it doesn't mean that that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But perception is everything, especially for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they see you on your phone, they think, oh, dad's using his phone. Why can't I play my Switch? Or, why can't we watch something? Or, if he's able to distract himself with that, then why can't I? And so it will start with, and this is probably the biggest tip, and you can, drop whatever tips you have, but for us, like, you got to have tech-free zones.
Mm-hmm.
And like dining table, for instance, if you guys are going to eat together, no cell phones, no switches, nothing. It is, I'm going to have intentional time with you guys. Not even, so I've seen people, well, I just put my phone, face down on the table. That's actually terrible. You should probably keep it in your pocket. You shouldn't put it, like, if you got to put it somewhere, go put it on a shelf that's super far away from the dining table on silent. If somebody needs you that badly, they'll be able to get a hold of you. Or, if it's an emergency, they know that they can call 911. At the end of the day, nobody needs you that bad to where you can't have focus time with your kids. And if you have a significant other, your significant other, and that you owe it to them to have tech-free zones. And as dads, I think that we can start with us. We can start modeling that. And, let's say you have a significant other that's not on the same page as this. So be it. But you be the example.
Mm-hmm.
Because your kids model what you do.
Yep.
Period.
Hey, dads, quick break. If you're like DJ and I, you are worried about what your kids are seeing online. That's why me and DJ are excited to announce that we are working with Bark. Bark monitors texts, emails, YouTube, and over 30 social media platforms, alerting you if your child runs into bullying, predators, or explicit content. It gives you the chance to step in and parent with confidence. And here's the best part. When you use code Unscripted, you'll get 15% off Bark for life. So hit the link in the show notes, grab your discount, and protect your kids today. Well, I think too, like, a lot of parents, if you're listening, you're busy. We live in a very fast-paced, busy world where everything costs a ton more money than when we were younger, and everyone's just trying to survive. And with that, you want to be disconnected. And when I say disconnected, most of the people go to their phones. Like DJ saying, we go home, we swipe, and then we go to bed, and then we start over the next day. As parents, that disconnection needs to be with your kids. Go to the park. On Saturdays, me and DJ do record this podcast on Saturdays. We do it early enough to where our kids are just waking up, they have breakfast, and by the time they're done eating breakfast, we're with them. And then the rest of the day, we're doing stuff with our kids. So make sure if you're a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday worker, that Saturday is a relaxation, disconnection time away from everything with your family. because I know when I was younger, my parents both worked like full time. Nighttime, we'd have dinner together, go to bed, start over, do the whole thing. And then on the weekends, most of the time, we'd hang out, do stuff on the weekends. And that meant a lot. Nowadays, we're at a time in society where a lot of people are remote. A lot of people do have time. So make sure you're just spending that time wisely. Make sure you're not sitting in front of your kids on the couch like DJ's doing, swipe, 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 you know, and make sure that you're showing your kids how it is to be a responsible technology user. Because if you show them that's all you do, that's all they're going to do. And listen, guys, there are signs. I have a list. Where is it? Signs of overload. So if your kids kind of feel anxious or it looks like they're having a little bit of anxiety when the devices aren't around, that's a sign. If they are irritable when limits are set, so like on weekdays, my kids have to do homework. They have to do it as soon as they get home or they don't get screen time. Or at 6:00, there's no more friends, there's no more screens. Like it shuts off. If there's a screen, we're all watching something together as a family, and that's it. There's no other video games or stuff like that. Or when you do have to take them away, they freak out like my son did. Listen, last night he was freaking out, and I was like, okay, listen, dude, if you cannot calm down, this doesn't stop, I'm taking your Switch away. So I have learned now that his Switch is not a touch point anymore. He doesn't use it much anymore. So he's like, that's fine, I don't use it. But then I was like, all right, dude, go get it. So he went and got it for me. It didn't phase him. I said, okay, go get me the computer. Because he uses my laptop to play Fortnite and Minecraft with his friends. And as soon as I say, give me the computer, he goes, what? So that right there showed me, okay. It's like, okay, this is that thing. So he went and got the computer and he's like, when do I get it back? I said, dude, you're not for a while. Because we're going to be having some days off. And so like talking with my wife last night, I'm like, hey, what do we want to do? Because honestly, it does look like, I mean, he's addicted to this thing, like Fortnite. And if you guys haven't heard the episode with Chris McKenna, go listen to that one. And that talks about that kind of stuff, like where Fortnite, Minecraft, and I think Roblox are like the top three. Like they're the games that they're just brain rot games, you know. And I'm not gonna say much because I play games too, but you need to, as parents, we need to limit and watch what our kids are on. But anyways, so just seeing that, so he is going to be taking a break for a few days. You know, maybe the next steps we'll talk about how he's doing and stuff like that. But like, it's up to us to figure out that regulation in your house, because if you let your kids run the house, if you let your kids just on screens all day, then you're just going to have a chaotic, messy household. And then when their kids grow up, they're going to be like, no, I spent time on my phone. Not my parents don't want to do anything with me. And it all just trickles down from there. So just make sure that you are on top of what they're doing. And that kind of takes us back to Bark. Working with Bark, and I'm having this app, like my daughter's not on her phone constantly. She comes home, once she gets everything done, she can call her grandparents, she can text her friends. But it's not like she's sitting on it. And like I said, it does alert you when things happen. Like she accidentally typed a cuss word. And I got an alert saying, hey, your child's using Program. It pulls up a message that shows what the word is. Now, my daughter's 8 years old. She doesn't have a whole lot of friends that have phones. Like if we would not have been working with Bark, my kids wouldn't have a phone until they were 13. Like my kids were not getting phones until or later. That's when I got my first flip phone. I just remember all I wanted to do was text my girl. I didn't have a girl when I was 13. I didn't get a girl till I was about 17, 18. I wanted to text DJ. That's what I wanted to do. I just want to see what he was up to and talk to him. That's all I wanted to do. But I do remember that once that phone comes into play and all you're doing is talking to your friends, your kids grow up fast, y'all. And the time you have with them is limited, and that time is going to be replaced very quickly by their friends. Because I'll tell you what, when my wife and DJ and his wife came around, I was done hanging out with my parents. All I wanted to do is hang out with my buddies. So, but yeah, if you guys are thinking about Bark, if you do use code Unscripted when you go to buy your devices or the app, you do get 15% off the app for life. It's really cool, guys. So go check out Bark. We'll leave links and stuff like that in the description. D, I know you got something ready. I can see it cooking. Go ahead, bud.
Got some stuff ready. Well, just speaking about Bark, why it matters. I know Alec kind of touched on this, but it gives dads visibility without needing to spy. And I think that's ultimately it's a monitoring tool. It's not like it's to alert you of things. Like Alec wasn't going to his daughter like, "What are you doing? Why are you cussing?" It was like, "Okay, here are the words." And then you can decide like, "Okay, should we have a conversation about this, or is it words that I've used in the house and well, kids are going to say what I say." Right? So it kind of gives you that monitoring tool. And one way to think about bark doesn't replace parenting, it supports it. Think about this. Think seatbelt for digital life. I know it's cheesy, but that's exactly what it is. It just helps to protect your children
Mm-hmm.
from all of the craziness of life. And it alerts you. I mean, guys, they use such a cool AI technology that like they have detected um like self-harm situations, they've detected bullying situations, they've detected, like Alec was saying, profanity. And I have the watch. I need to do a couple videos on that. But the watch is actually really cool. You put a limited number of contacts on it. They
Mm-hmm.
can call you from the watch. They can talk to text from the watch. They can only text and talk to whoever is programmed into the watch. So it's not like they can do it with anybody. And there's no other apps on it. They can't play games or anything on the watch. It's strictly for emergency situations or when they need to communicate to my wife and I. And so, guys, I'm telling you this, like if you want something that gives you a little bit peace of mind at the end of the day, Bark is the way to go. And like Alex said, if you use Unscripted, you'll get that app 15% off for life. And it will literally change the game for you guys. But as we're wrapping up, I do have a couple little rapid fire questions here. Alec already touched on the first age you think your kids should get their own phone. Alec said 13.
Mm-hmm.
With Bark, it's a little bit different,
Yep.
but 13, I think that's a great age. If you can wait a little bit longer, obviously, we've all been there. You're growing, you're going through hormones, everything is like your regulation isn't there. But if you throw people like either bullying you or like a bunch of things into the mix, technology wise, and social media is all about comparison, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that can throw you into a spiral too. And
It's a hard
so,
thing for when they're growing up.
yeah,
They need to be at a certain age where their brains can handle it. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah. Stricter at your house, screen time or junk food?
we're stricter on screen time in our house. As you can tell, I'm not the skinniest dude. But I mean, it is healthy. We don't have junk food. Listen, we got like seaweed. We got like pretzel sticks. Like it's nothing like chips and like candy and stuff like that. So I mean, we are good at that stuff. But I am a lot more regulatory on screen time. I let the kids go in the kitchen and eat what they want. I mean, they're growing, so I'm not going to stop them from eating if they're hungry.
Yeah, I guess we have a perfect balance of the two. Uh, for us, we regulate the screen time, but we also like there's certain times throughout the day that they have snack time. They can go grab a snack, but they're not able to snack all day. And maybe as they get older, that might be loosened a tad bit. But yeah, for
Well,
right now,
my
that's where
kids
we're at.
know like, okay, they get home from school at what 3:30 ish. They can have a snack or a couple snacks after school, and then as soon as like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hits, like because dinner's gonna come, there's no more eating. It's kitchen's off limits, so stuff like that. But yeah, more screen time limitation here.
Let's see here. We'll do a funny one here. iPhone or Android? Are you a green user or a blue user?
So here's the thing, what color? They don't mix to make a color. I'm a yellow user. um, that's the only color that can combine to be part of blue or green. So we'll just say I'm a yellow user. Um, I like both. I'm a PC guy. I like Windows, but then I do have an iPhone strictly because my wife has an iPhone and pretty much everybody I know has an iPhone, so I can FaceTime. But I am Android. I don't know if Android's listening. The people of Android, if you're listening, I am going to go back to Android. That Galaxy Z Flip 7 or Fold 7, it's pretty sweet, y'all. And I don't care if I'm green or blue. Listen, the less group chats that I can be in, the better. I'm in so many freaking group chats. And I mean, I can FaceTime, but I mean, so there's Facebook Messenger. You can call on there. It's not as good as FaceTime. I'll give them that, but like, it's not that big a deal. What do you? I know you guys are diehard everything Apple.
Yeah, I'm currently running on a Mac.
Mm-hmm.
See the Mac behind me too. If you can, no, you can't. Never mind. I have to move completely out of the way. Got an iPhone. Yeah, we are definitely Mac users. Although we don't have Apple TV, so
you guys used to
Amazon Fire.
Yeah.
We did used to, yeah. But yeah, super diehard Apple fans. Although, like, part of me wants to venture out, live life on a little risky side.
Listen, the 17's coming out, and if they don't show something cool, it's definitely probably going towards Android. Yeah, they're just behind on things.
Bounce. All right, let's end on one last thing. If you could hit the reset button on family screen habits, what's the first thing you'd change?
Say it one more time.
So if you could hit the reset button on family screen habits, what's the first thing you'd change?
I would introduce video games a little later because I feel like, listen, guys, I'm a gamer. I've have a gaming channel. We've talked about our gaming on here. Like I love gaming. And as a dad, my son's love for 80s movies, my son's love for video games, it all comes from us. And so I feel like if I would have introduced it a little bit later in life, which I mean, I introduced them to Minecraft. That was like the game. That was the only thing they had on their Switches. It's like Minecraft I feel like if you're going to give a kid a video game, give them Minecraft because they still have to be somewhat creative in that game because you're building everything. And it's just exploration and it's just fun. But yeah, I just say video games a little later.
Yeah. That is something that I've kind of learned with people, like just having conversations, and because I think one thing that I have been wanting to do is like play I'm a huge Mario Party, Mario Kart, like I love those games and I just want to play them with my kids, but it's like finding that balance. I think right now, if I were to change anything like related to tech, I think I would create better habits in myself instead of waiting 5 years to realize, shoot, I've been missing big moments because I've been glued to a screen. And that's all a result of me not knowing how to regulate myself. And so if I had to change anything, it would definitely be go back and say, hey, shake myself. Hey, come on, get off that thing. And just, spend more intentional time with the kids, because like Alex said, they grow up quick. Before you realize it, they're 5 years old. Before you realize it, they're 10, and then they're 15, and then they're 18. And, by that point, they might be moving out and going to live their life. And by that, if that happens, well, then you've lost you're at that point where you're not going to have as much time with them anymore. The prime is gone. You know what I'm saying? So take advantage of everything now. And yeah, just guys, tech-free zones is a big theme with this. We got to have tech-free zones, and we got to have that intentional time with our kids. If we model it for them, they're going to start moving into that habit. If we don't, then it's basically a double standard. And who wants to listen to somebody who has a double standard? I don't think I've never been one that wants to listen to somebody like that. So I know that for our kids, it's probably going to be the same way. They're not going to listen to you, do as I say and not as I do. That's a terrible saying. You should be modeling things for your children, not just telling them. Like just telling them no, actions speak louder than words, period. So go out, model these things. And guys, if you've liked everything that we've talked about, we say this every episode, but like, comment, subscribe. One thing that'll help us out tremendously. We are, I don't know where we're currently standing, but in the ranks, we were the number one podcast.
Still are.
Still. Okay, cool. Guys, this is because of you. So continue to, give us, if you loved our content, give us 5-star rating. Leave why you're loving our content, because it helps to get to other people that are needing this content. Like, so I just go do that. And, maybe here in the future, we'll start pulling these comments and start doing like little contests. You get access to things. And I know we got plenty of stuff cooking, but yeah, guys, we love you. We care about you. That's why we're doing this kind of content. And yeah.
Cool. Well, you guys, we will see you in the next episode. We are going to have, you guys have your longtime fans. Sean Finnegan is back next episode, guys. We're super excited to have him back on the podcast. He's going to be bringing some entrepreneurial knowledge to all of us dads. So if you have any questions about entrepreneurship, if you have any questions about building your own business, let us know in the comments and we will ask Sean Finnegan. Cool. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will see you in the next one. We love you.
Peace.